you have to win. You have to find ways to win. And this is something that I've been doing for I would say the last 12 months of my life. Last year, at around this time, I came back from travels and I was working on a project, and I'm still working on that same project. We launched something, like a product, a course program, and it didn't exceed the expectations that we wanted to. So a lot of my life was tied to that one thing. And that's when I realized, man, you put so much time and investment into this thing that you kind of neglected your own self. And at around that time, I had an inkling that, I was going to get married. So I knew that I was approaching the next step of my life. And I still hadn't figured out this career part of my life. I've had a lot of great experiences when it comes to my career. I've worked a lot of different jobs where that I've been able to, pay off debt. I've been able to travel and I've been able to work from home. However, I haven't gotten to that point where my career is at a point where I feel established and stable, right? I've always felt like I was doing this and I was doing that and I was trusting the process, but I always put my control or my gifts, my destiny on someone else's hands, someone else's project. So I told myself, you know what? I need to do this. And this whole year, since the start of the year, at the start of the year, I wrote down, sorry, a little sick, a little under the weather, but I wrote down every single thing that I want to try. And I decided, I tried different things. At the start of the year, I started streaming, right? I started writing a book. I started, I started a blog. I bought a whole blogging course. I was writing my blog. I created a whole website, right? I ended up doing YouTube again. And then I ended up doing coaching. I ended up hiring a business coach, figuring out how to pay for that. And I'm at a point right now where it's like, I need to win. There's no other option. Winning is the only option. Failing, if I fail, I will fail 1,000 times. Excuse me. I will fail 1,000 times, but I will eventually succeed. I know I will eventually succeed. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I know there's someone out there. Maybe I don't get a lot of views. I don't get like 10, 15 views. But I know that there's someone out there who's watching this, who's also in that same situation. Maybe they're on their grind. Maybe they're figuring it out. Maybe they're building something. Maybe there's someone out there who just hasn't figured it out yet. Maybe they have the mindset, but they just don't have something. They just don't have something to build. I've been there. And let me tell you this, just keep going. Keep figuring it out. Like it's gonna slowly start to make sense. I'll give an example. Now, I don't like to use marriage as like the main example, but it is something that I always reflect on, or my health. There's a time when I was not seeing any results when it came to my gym progress. From 2013 or 2012, 2013, 2016, I was not seeing any progress. And then I hired a personal trainer. I hired two personal trainers. One of the personal trainers was at the gym. The other personal trainer was more calisthenics, outside workouts, right? And that kind of shifted my mindset. I realized, oh, you've been complicating your gym workouts. You don't have to complicate it. It's a lot simpler than you think. And then 2 years later, I ended up figuring out my diet. And then once I figured that out, everything just kind of made sense. And even when it came to marriage, right? I was reading books. Like this is something that I don't know if I tell people, but I was reading books. Like there were books. People used to laugh at the books that I used to read at times. Like I used to read books about this stuff, and I went to events. Like I went to an event, a whole event for it too, and I took different risks. I was at a point where I got into a website, and that website, it was called I think Muslims for Marriage. It was that deep. I was in a website literally called Muslims for Marriage, and I was on that website and I figured out it was actually a scam website, because the website was fine, but the people who were running it, they kind of just ran it, and they just, if you asked to cancel, they just didn't cancel it, your membership. So I literally had to go to the bank and cancel that credit card. The lady who watched she was looking at the transactions. She probably saw it. I saw her smirk. Persian lady. I still remember she smirked, and then she just did cancel the account because I obviously, like, there was no expenses already paid off, right? So I think I canceled that bank too at that point. But I remember I canceled the credit card. It was to that point, and it just did not make sense. Like, I was wondering, I could not attract anyone. I just felt like so, like, insecure in myself. And then at some point, you know, and I'm not going to talk about every single thing. I could go deeper into this, but I dealt with, like, heartbreak and this and that. But at some point, it started to make sense, to the point where I knew exactly what I was looking for. And I was at a point where I said, you know what? I know exactly, like, I can, if I want to attract someone, like, I can't say I can attract this person, but I feel attractive. I feel like I can attract someone. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm not desperate for it, but if it came to me, then I'm open to it. And that's when I ended up, finding my wife and getting married, right? And it's kind of like this business too. It was not making sense. It kind of took this failure of this project that I did last year to kind of push me to do my own thing. And I'm at a point where it's slowly starting to make sense. I've been through this position before. For those of you who don't know, I did photography, and I grew an audience when I did photography. When I grew this audience, I ended up making money from my photography. What I'm going through right now, it's very similar to what I was going through back in 2016, 2017. The only difference is I have all these years of experience, and I actually have a business coach that's helping me, guide me, figure this out. So I am confident that I'm going to win. And the reason why I'm making this video, I'm not making this video because I'm saying, oh yeah, but I'm saying this because you look at my channel right now, I get 10, 15, 20 views. Great. There will be a day where I will come here and I will say, this is how much I made this month. And then people are going to be like, some people are going to be like, oh, look at him, he did look at it. But some people are going to be like, I respect that. I saw your journey. I saw where you came from, and I'm seeing the improvements. That's why I'm making these, because it's for myself, so I can document my own process and show others that you can be at the bottom where you're getting 10, 15 views, whatever it may be. I may still get 10, 15 views when I actually succeed with my business, but it's going to be a whole different atmosphere, because there's going to come a point where more money, more problems. Of course, I'm going to manage people. I'm going to have more people working under me. It's going to be very, very different, a whole different atmosphere. And I have a vision. When I build this fitness business or this coaching business, I have another plan for myself, which is my personal branding, right? So the thing about, I'm just trying to say here, is that trust your process, believe in yourself, tell yourself you will do this. Like, literally tell yourself you will do this. I'm telling myself this every single day. There's some days where, or not even some days, multiple times during the day, I'm telling myself, I don't believe it. Like, how can I do it? I'm at the bottom. I can't do this. And then I just reinforce myself. I listen to positive audiobooks. I make my istighfar, I do my salah. I make dua. I do literally anything I can do. I have self-talk plus. I do whatever it is. Win at all costs. That's all that's on my mind. Just win. Win, 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 win. Right? If anything comes in my head, oh no, you can just win. Oh no, you don't have the capabilities. Win. Win, 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 win. That's all in my mind. So that's I'm just making this video. It's some of us say like, oh, this guy's delusional. I am delusional. Okay? I'm very delusional. That delusion enabled me to watch Messi play 2 times. Okay? That delusion enabled me to go to the Milan derby. That delusion enabled me to build at least a decent physique and be healthy. Obviously I'm under the weather, so ironically, but It enabled me to at least be conscious of my health. It enabled me to have a relatively decent, healthy family life. It enabled me to hop on a project with one of my favorite influencers, especially back in like 2019, 2020, there was a time when I was very, very, very depressed. I was sitting in an office job, and I love the people that I work for, but the job itself, I just couldn't do it. And I remember there was one podcast I listened to with that same person, and I sent him a DM. I think it was back in 2019. I said, congrats on, I think it was 1 million followers. Hoping to, I'll see you soon or something. I said, hope to see you soon. Next thing you know, I worked with that person. So I didn't intend it. It wasn't something I said, okay, I'm going to do it. But I was delusional to the point where now it's like I work with a person on a regular basis, I talk weekly, right? So this delusion that you have sometimes, you may not see it, but eventually it will come true if you believe in yourself. Okay, that's all you need. You just need some self-belief in yourself, and that's one thing I'm reinforcing with myself every single day, that I could do this. And I know that I could do this. I've done it before. I know what the process is. I'm going to do it again. So that's all I got to say. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep going. And I hope you also go as well. Like and subscribe. You want online fitness training or just online coaching for whatever it is, productivity, fitness, you let me know down below, or you click the link down below. I'll talk to you guys next video. Don't forget to stay authentic. Peace.